A life cut short, the sad story of Atul Subhash, Bengaluru, a busy city full of life, dreams and big plans. But in this city, a sad story happened, making everyone in this lively place feel very sad. Atul Subhash, a young computer engineer, a man with a bright future, took his own life. He was only 34. A loving son, a talented worker, a life full of promise, gone. The city was sad, but many questions remained. Why did Atul do this? What problems did he have that made him feel so hopeless? Atul's story is not just his story. It's like the stories of many men who are stuck in a legal system that isn't working well. A system that sometimes hurts the people it should protect. A system that didn't listen to Atul when he asked for help. His death made everyone see a sad truth. The truth about how laws can be misused, how men are sometimes falsely accused, and how we need to fix our laws. Atul's story reminds us that even successful people can be suffering silently. His death shows us the hidden problems men face in a society where ideas about men and women are changing and the laws are slow to catch up. His story asks us to be kind, to understand and to build a society that listens, cares for and protects everyone, no matter if they are a man or a woman. A cry for help, the suicide note and video silence. That's how Atul Subhash lived. A silence that hid his pain, his fear, his desperation, but when he died he finally spoke. He spoke through a 24-page suicide note and a very sad 90-minute video. He spoke about the unfairness he faced, the pain he felt. In his note, Atul described his difficult life, a life trapped by false accusations, threats, and constant harassment. He wrote about his wife, Nikita Singhania, and her family, saying they wanted 3 crore rupees to leave him alone. He explained their threats, their constant pressure, their greed that made him feel hopeless. He talked about the false cases against him, 9 in all, each one making his life harder. Accusations of dowry harassment, of unnatural sex, all lies. But these accusations stayed with him like a dark cloud over his life. He showed evidence, documents, proof that he was innocent, but no one listened. Trapped in a web, the legal battle, the courtroom, a place where people go to find justice, where truth is important. But for Atul, it became a scary place, a place where his nightmare continued. He was stuck in a legal fight, fighting not just to be free, but to stay sane, to keep his dignity, to keep living. Every time he went to court, every legal step made him lose hope. The law, which should have protected him, became his enemy. Section 498A of the Indian Penal Code, a law made to protect women from dowry harassment, was used against him. He became a victim of the very law meant to protect. His case showed a scary truth: how the legal system can be misused, and how we need to change the laws to make sure everyone gets justice. His requests for fairness seemed to disappear. The legal process, with its delays and complicated rules, was very hard on him. He felt trapped and alone, and no one heard him. His story shows us how important it is to have a kind and efficient legal system, a system that truly gives justice. Deep scars, the psychological impact. People are strong, but they can only take so much. The constant pressure, the fear, the shame, the weight of false accusations hurt Atul deeply. He felt exposed, his life examined by everyone, his character attacked. The emotional scars were deep, invisible, but very painful. He fought loneliness and the shame of being falsely accused. People whispered about him, judged him, and left him alone, making him feel even worse. His happy personality disappeared and he became quiet and sad. His mental health got worse because of the stress. He couldn't sleep, worried and afraid of what would happen next. He became a shadow of his former self, crushed by the unfairness. His story reminds us of the invisible wounds caused by false accusations, the deep emotional pain that can make people feel suicidal. It shows us how important it is to be kind, to understand, and to have support systems to help those falsely accused deal with the legal system and rebuild their lives. A silent crisis, men's mental health. Atul's sad ending showed everyone a problem that we often ignore. Men's mental health in a society that tells men to be strong and silent. Asking for help can seem like a weakness. This silence can be very dangerous. Men don't ask for help with mental health problems as often as women. They suffer silently, hiding their pain. They don't want to seem weak. This, along with societal pressures and a lack of support, can lead to terrible things happening. Atul's story reminds us that mental health problems affect everyone, men and women. It asks us to talk more openly about mental health. It asks us to build a society where asking for help is seen as brave, not weak, a step towards getting better. A call for justice. The fight for men's rights. Atul's death became a rallying cry for men's rights activists all over the country. They saw in his tragic end a reflection of a system often unfair to men, a system that needs to be fixed. They said that the misuse of laws, like Section 498A, had made it easy for people to make false accusations, using the law to hurt people they didn't like. They demanded fairness, a fair trial, not just for Atul, but for every man falsely accused. They wanted laws that are fair to both men and women, laws that protect everyone from harassment and abuse. They wanted to change the idea that men are always the perpetrators, showing that men can also be victims of domestic abuse, of false accusations, of a system that often fails to protect them. Atul's case became a symbol of their fight for justice, for equality, for a society where men's voices are heard, their problems acknowledged, their rights protected. His story made them even more determined to change the laws and create a more fair and just society for everyone. A nation-divided media coverage and public reaction. Atul's suicide shocked the nation. News channels, newspapers and social media were full of reactions. The nation was divided. Some people saw Atul as a victim, a man hurt by a bad legal system, a man driven to desperation by lies. They demanded justice for Atul, wanting stricter laws against false accusations and more awareness about men's rights. Others questioned his innocence, talking about the problems of women who often suffer silently, their abusers protected by a system that favors men. They said that Atul's case shouldn't distract from the problem of violence against women, and we shouldn't weaken laws that protect them. Atul's story showed how complicated relationships between men and women are in India today, the biases in society and the need for a better way to deal with domestic abuse and false accusations. Preventing future tragedies and the need for legal reforms. Atul's sad ending showed us that the system meant to protect had failed. His case showed how much we need to change our laws, to create a system that is fair to everyone, a system that doesn't care about gender, a system that helps people instead of hurting them. Many people wanted to change Section 498A of the Indian Penal Code. They said that this law, while meant to be good, had become a tool for harassment. They wanted to change it so that it protects real victims of dowry harassment but doesn't hurt innocent people. It became clear that we need laws that are fair to both men and women, laws that protect everyone from all types of abuse. Atul's case showed that men can also be victims of domestic violence, of emotional abuse, of false accusations. Our laws, they argued, should reflect this. In memory of Atul. A plea for compassion and understanding. Atul Subhash is gone. His story is a sad reminder of how a broken system can hurt people, of the silent suffering of many. But his death, though heartbreaking, can help us make things better. It can help us build a kinder and fairer society, a society that cares about others, that values truth over false accusations. Let Atul's story guide us towards a future where mental health problems are treated with kindness and understanding, where the law doesn't become a tool for harassment, where justice wins. Let his memory inspire us to create a society where everyone feels safe, heard and protected, no matter if they are a man or a woman. Let us honor his memory by working towards a world where his story, though tragic, reminds us to be kind, to fight for justice, and to build a future where such sad stories don't happen again.